What's up, baseball card people? I'm continuing my exploration of 1970 All-Stars who didn't make the Hall of Fame. Frank Howard is the third and final American League starter from 1970 that isn't a Hall of Famer. Howard played baseball and basketball at Ohio State. At 6'7", Howard was drafted by the Philadelphia Warriors NBA team, but chose to sign with the Dodgers. His size was highly unusual for baseball at the time, and Howard hit several 500-foot homers in the minors, leading people to speculate that he might break Babe Ruth's home run record. After 2 cups of coffee with the Dodgers in 58 and 59, Howard hit 23 homers in just 448 at-bats and won Rookie of the Year in 1960. This is a Topps Archives reprint of his 1960 rookie card with his authenticated autograph. I don't know why I can't get it to focus very well. Over 5 seasons with the Dodgers from 60 through 64, Howard averaged 24 homers, 75 RBI, and a .270 batting average. His best season was 1962 when he hit 31 home runs, drove in 119, and batted .296 with a .906 OPS, and finished 9th MVP in MVP voting. The Dodgers finished in second place that year, but they finished first in 63, sweeping the Yankees in what turned out to be Mickey Mantle's last playoff appearance. On the Dodgers, some of Howard's teammates were Tommy Davis, who's another outfielder, and Howard was second in WAR on the team for hitters to Jim Gilliam. This is Gilliam's 1960 Leaf. His 1964 Red Heart. It's got some paper loss up there and some tape damage, but still a cool card. And then this is Gilliam's rookie, 1953 Topps. Now this is a messed up card. Paper loss, tape all the way across. But it's an expensive card even in low grade, so I have this in my store in case you're looking for something about half as much as what even a low grade card usually costs. And then, of course, the Dodgers in those years were led by their pitching staff. The great Sandy Koufax, who won the Cy Young and MVP in 1963, and then Don Drysdale. Those were postcards of Drysdale and Koufax, and this is a 64 stand-up of Drysdale. Of course, it's missing its background. The Dodgers won the series again in 65, but Howard had been traded to the Senators after the 64 season when he had batted only .226. In 65 and 66 for the Senators, Howard had similar kind of average seasons as what he had had with the Dodgers. But before the 67 season, Howard worked with Senators manager Gil Hodges to make his swing more of an uppercut. This is Hodges when he was his last season on the Mets. And here's a Friendly Foes 63. Shows Duke Schneider, who was still then a teammate of Howard's on the Dodgers. The results for Howard were immediate. In 1967, his home run total jumped to 36. And in 68, Howard had the first of 4 consecutive All-Star appearances, hitting over 40 home runs and driving in more than 100 for 3 consecutive years from 68 to 70, and finishing as high as 4th in the MVP voting in 1969. In 1970, Howard led the American League in both homers and RBI. During this stretch, Howard acquired the fantastic nickname of the Capital Punisher. Those Senators teams didn't have much going for them. Howard was by far the best player, most consistent, although Ken McMullen had some decent seasons at third base. He might be most famous for sharing a rookie card with Pete Rose. But McMullen had also been Howard's teammate with the Dodgers. These are 2 autograph cards of McMullen, 67 when he was on the Senators and 64 when he was on the Dodgers. In addition to Gil Hodges, some credit for Howard's improved performance at the plate in the late 60s and early 70s goes to Ted Williams, who became Howard's manager with the Senators in 1969. and encouraged Howard to be more patient at the plate. Howard's walk totals jumped from 54 in 68 to 102 in 69 and 132 in 1970. So here's the 71 Topps Ted Williams manager cards, but one is the Topps and one is the O-Pee-Chee. And if you're looking, I've got two low-grade Ted Williams cards, both with paper loss. 64 paper loss up there, and the 56 with large paper loss here. Unfortunate, but the cards are pretty nice, except for those rather obvious flaws. While the walk totals clearly indicate, Howard's increased walk totals clearly indicate that the splendid splinter had an influence on Howard's plate discipline. Howard had already had a season with 44 homers in 68 under Gil Hodges' tutelage before Ted arrived as the Senators' skipper. And Howard's production began to decline even while Williams was still the Senators' manager. In 71, Howard dropped from 44 to 26 homers, although he still hit 279. Then, in the first season after the Senators had moved to Texas and become the Rangers, Howard hit only 10 homers and batted .244 and was traded mid-season to Detroit. Howard lasted only one full season in Detroit, hitting 12 homers and batting .256 before retiring at the end of the 73 season. He finished his career with 382 homers and 1,119 RBI. Howard played a season in Japan before becoming a minor league manager in the Brewers system, and then eventually coaching and managing in the majors through 1999, including a few seasons with the Mets. Most of these cards are available in my eBay store. Check them out if you're interested.